We're gonna check out this Sedona Trolley Tour.
So again, we get between 3 and 4 million tourists a year, and only about 20,000 people live here. So it's a small town with lots of visitors, and we're coming into our busiest season. March into early April, spring break to Easter. It's our busiest time. In the summer, it's weekends and holidays. The fall is our second busiest, and the winter is our slowest. We're West Sedona, but we don't have an East Sedona, and they ran out of room. Sedona's done growing. It's surrounded by this beautiful Coconino National Forest, 1.8 million acres, and so the good rule of thumb is wherever you see undeveloped land, it's protected. Sedona's as big as it's going to get. And on the right, this is the Choppa Neighborhood. It's a little older than those homes we just drove by. This has been here a while. It's about 8 blocks, about 20 blocks. We were looking for a place to buy in Sedona, and we found a house in here about 8 years ago that was a, small, 1,400 square feet, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and at that time it was $275,000. Now these days, I'm told you can't find anything in Sedona, your starter home, anything under $650,000. Anyway, Choppa was built in 1956. It took about 18 months to build. 1956, folks, there was nothing here. There were no roads, there were no houses. This is all national forest. You look down this street on the right, you see Bell Rock. That's a vortex site, looks like a bell. And back that way is Cathedral Rock. That's our most often painted and photographed formation. You're going to have a really nice view of both of those. So the folks that work here are employed by the Catholic Diocese down in Phoenix. They take care of the property. It's not a functioning Catholic church per se in that there are no Sunday services. On the right, those two big spires are called the Sisters, or the nuns. If you're across town and you look over there and see those, you know you're looking towards the chapel. And the next one over, standing up, is Madonna and Child. Now, seriously, pick a good time to be here, because in 2 weeks, this will be bumper to bumper up, bumper to bumper down, bumper to bumper all the way back into town. That's just the way it is. And the last Saturday I worked here, it took me 90 minutes to get from here back to uptown. So that was the last Saturday I worked. No more weekends, thank you. Good time to be here. The weather's nice. Not quite as many people.
All right, we're at the Chapel of the Holy Cross. The first stop on the trolley tour. Very informative so far.
As I said earlier, Spanish conquistadors rode their horses through here in 1583 looking for gold. They named it the Verde Valley. They said at that time the vegetation was prairie grass that came up to their horses' chests. So a whole different vegetation back then. What happened to the prairie grass? Well, the cattle industry, the Homestead Act was passed in 1862. Lincoln was trying to get people to move out here and make it a state. So the Homestead Act was giving away up to 160 acre parcels, and this whole valley got filled up with homesteaders. And again, the rocks are red because they rust just enough iron to rust the outside of the rocks. If you take a quarter and scratch one, it's tan underneath, but you can see as high as the red goes. Geologists tell us this area was underwater many times when inland oceans would first flood the area and then recede time after time. Each time they receded, they left stratiform layers of silt piled on top of each other. So as high as the red goes is as high as those oceans got. The tan area above the red, they say, was blown in by extremely high surface winds. It eroded a mountain range and blew sand dunes in here. So there were sand dunes and water, then two underground plates collided, plate tectonics. And volcanic activity lifted that plateau up, crushed the sand dunes into the sandstone that we see. They say this was left as a big sea basin at the top of the red, a big flat sea basin. Water and wind eroded that sandstone and left these formations. On the left at about 10 o'clock, that big butte, the biggest, widest one over there, that's Thunder Mountain. Our other tour goes out behind Thunder Mountain out into the forest. But Walt Disney had a cabin here. He spent time in Sedona in the 40s and the 50s, and they say he patterned Thunder Mountain Railroad at all his resorts after that. but it gets hit by lightning all the time. Thunder Mountain. Have a short break here. You're welcome to get out and take some pictures.
Alright, so we just got done with the trolley tour, and well, the second one, it was pretty good. Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to that trolley tour. You don't have to worry about parking, although, you know, right now, you know, parking isn't bad, but when it's busy, like he said, in 2 weeks, and it's bumper to bumper, then I could see that being a benefit, just being able to go there and being dropped off. Alright, but yeah, it's not bad. So he did recommend the pink tour, the Arrowhead Tour, I believe that's what it's called. So we're gonna go look into that. If you want to avoid the crowds, February is a great month to come.